Hello, and welcome
This
to
is a
Jumpin' Johnny
complete
walkthrough for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, originally released on the NES, played on the Cowabunga collection. This is an action platformer that has a world map like the Zelda games, and you can go into levels and play traditional platforming sections. You play as all 4 turtles, and when you pause the game, you can change which turtle to play, which is handy if you are low on health on one of the turtles. Donatello is the best overall character to play, as because of his weapon has the longest range. There's lots of levels dotted around the map, but you only need to go in certain ones to proceed, and this walkthrough will take you through just those levels. When you pause the game, you will get advice from Splinter or April O'Neil. You can change which turtle to use, and it has a map. It shows you where you are, and the white squares are buildings and sewer tunnels, which are levels, which you can play, and the arrow is where you want to go. In the overworld, beware of steamrollers that can crush you, and there will be foot soldiers that you can defeat. If you're playing the Cowabunga collection, you have save states and a rewind system to make the game a lot easier. As soon as you go into the sewer tunnel, press down on the D-pad to climb down and avoid the flying enemy. You will see Mousers in this level, and duck down to defeat these, and when you move right, beware of the foot soldier that will throw a weapon at you, and duck to avoid these. Time to face your first boss, Bebop. He will appear behind you when you reach the exit, and he charges at you, and he punches you when he's close, and jumps. So you either jump over him or under him when he jumps. Donatello is useful here, but don't worry about losing too much health. Change turtles if it gets too low, and we'll be able to get unlimited pizza in the next section to top up all the turtles. Bebop and all bosses' health bars will appear underneath your health bar. Head up, watch out for the steamroller, ignore the first sewer entrance and go to the next one on the left, and you will be able to get a slice of pizza which fills up your health slightly. So if you got any turtles that need health, collect the pizza and then go back up the ladder and down again, and everything will reset. We've got some new enemies in this tunnel, another variation of a flying robot, and the humanoid enemies can't be harmed when it's crouched, and the third new enemy is a 4-legged mutant that hops around the place. All these enemies are unique to this game. You will be attacked from behind halfway through the level from a mini-boss called Chainsaw Maniac. They have weak health. Don't let him come too close to you, jump over him and hit him, and repeat the process. A heads up for preparation for the final level. You get secondary weapons randomly dropped like shurikens and boomerangs. You want to have 2 turtles with boomerangs for the final stage, and 1 turtle with scrolls. Keep Donatello with shurikens or triple shurikens. Head into the building for the final level of Area 1. Here you will find platforms that push you in the direction the arrow is facing. You will face some new enemies, robots that will fire lasers at you, and humanoid enemies that will throw boomerangs at you. This bonus item that sometimes drops is shurikens. It's got 20 before it's used up, and you can select it with the select button to change from your main weapon to shuriken, and these are handy if you have them for the upcoming Rocksteady boss. The Rocksteady boss is very similar to the Bebop fight, but the difference is Rocksteady can fire his gun. Use the same tactics as you did when fighting Bebop. This is a short area, but the swimming level is hard as nails, but first you have to enter the building and descend 3 floors full of enemies and mini-bosses. A tip for foot soldiers is you hit them once and they always jump, so go under them and turn around and finish them off. Before you go up to the second floor, you have to face a foot soldier as a mini-boss. Unsure why, it's not much stronger than normal foot soldiers. The pizza up here is a bigger slice of pizza and will fill 4 health squares. Make sure you check your turtles to see who needs it. Go to the left and let the chainsawed enemy drop down so you can easily defeat it as it doesn't face you, then a fire enemy will appear after. Lots of enemies on the 3rd floor. You will face another fire and chainsaw enemy. There will be lots of UFO shaped robots that will fly in your direction that you got to set off and then move out of the way, and the jump is a bit tricky at the end. This jump is tricky, you've got to really walk off the edge and then jump to reach the exit. There is 2 foot soldiers in this small section. I would head on the upside to get them both, then dive into the water to defuse the bombs. You have 2 minutes and 20 seconds to defuse all bombs. If the timer runs out, it's game over. If a turtle's defeated, you can restart and the bombs you have already done will still be done. So keep that in mind if you are running out of time. Kill a turtle on purpose. The bombs are defused automatically when you are near them. You also have a current pushing you, so swimming right is faster, swimming left is slower. Head up and the second bomb is to the left. When you pause the game, April will tell you how many bombs are left, and try to leave Donatello as the last turtle with health to help you in Area 3. Head back down and go right for the third bomb. All glowing seaweed in this level will harm you. Keep heading right, go down and around to avoid the obstacle and then up. Beware of the barrier just before the 4th bomb. Head all the way right for the 5th bomb. Sometimes you will have to go through barriers quickly, even if you get damaged, if you feel like you are running out of time. Now for the worst section. Head up and there will be seaweed everywhere in a U-bend shape, and swimming to the left is more heavy, and when you're at the top, immediately press down on the D-pad and swim to the right. After the seaweed, the 6th bomb is to the right. Head down and you will see the 7th bomb on the right, and then continue down and to the right with lots of seaweed. You will see the last bomb above you. Go around to reach it to complete the level. In Area 3, you can ride the Turtles van, which comes equipped with a weapon that shoots and has unlimited ammo, and you can destroy the steamrollers patrolling the area. Your turtles are probably going to need health, so we're going to go into a building where we need to get missiles for the turtle van to progress, and we can get some pizza to boost health. The building is the first building you come across that you can enter, and when you enter, you can get 2 different sets of enemies. Most levels has a choice of 2 groups of enemies. A whole bunch of new enemies that you face that are unique to this game. The blue jumping enemies are called Fleetus and they are weak. There's flying balloon robots that release missiles once they are above you. You can destroy both and move out of the way to avoid the missile, and the robot still flies around. The robots you see above are called Robos, and when you hit it, the body will be destroyed and its head will fly towards you. Head all the way to the right and there will be a pizza slice worth 2 squares of health. Go back to the entrance and repeat until all the turtles' health are full, or you are happy with the amount of health you have. Once you have finished getting pizza, continue on to the higher platform and reach the 2nd floor. 3 new enemies that can appear in this level. The eyeballs are called Blood Eyes and they are fairly weak, and the flaming humanoids are called Fire Freaks. They take a few hits to defeat, and it constantly throws flying living flames to attack you. These flying enemies, when they are close to you, will dive bomb you, and when you are on higher platforms, it will dive up to where you are. This is another one of the tricky jumps where you got to jump just before you fall off the edge. Like retro Mario games, you can walk over small gaps without falling down, and then collect the missiles. You should be able to get past the barriers with just 10 missiles, but if you want more and able to take up the steamrollers easily, you can redo this level to get another 10 missiles. We are going to an optional building to stock up on an item pickup called Kai Scrolls, and they are powerful abilities that are handy to defeat bosses and hordes of enemies. I personally would stock up one turtle with 99 of them, but get as many as you want, as it's not an easy level to navigate. These purple barriers can only be taken up by missiles, and that's why we needed them. Foot soldiers can't hurt the van, so you can run over them. A new enemy to face, a giant frog. These are hardy creatures and you'll have to hit them at least 3 times. Make your way up to the 3rd floor. Head left and down to the 2nd floor and you collect the scrolls. We are going to keep going down so we can collect some rooftop ropes that doesn't override any of your secondary weapons, and all turtles share and use. You can continue to navigate the tricky platforms to exit or go back to the entrance. You will be able to get a full-size pizza if you need health, which fills all bars of health. Jump lightly to the 2nd small square, then lightly to the next square, and the enemy can push you off into the water, so time your jump and attack to defeat it. Jump again lightly to the small square and jump to get the pizza if you need it. Once you get out of the sewers, it's easier to navigate. Go up and then back down to the exit, and you are in the building to the left of the building you originally came in. Repeat the process to get more scrolls, or get into the van and continue on. Now we have to go all the way to the right side of the map and up and around to where the arrow is pointing at and enter this building in order to enter the building where Splinter is being held. At the end of this level, you can get pizza to fill health, and you can refill all health in seconds. So don't worry about getting damaged too much. I'm using this opportunity to play as Raphael. His weapon is the worst with the shortest range, and he has to hit enemies more before they are defeated. You have to jump lightly just before the edge to make it, then proceed to jump and use your weapon to defeat the enemies as they will knock you into the water. Here is the full pizza, and you just need to keep going down the sewer exit for it to respawn and fill all your turtles' health. Head into the next building and navigate up the buildings to reach the rooftops. Head right, then change into the turtle that has got the scrolls, and change to use it, and you will face Mecha Turtle, who is a robot copy of Leonardo, and it doesn't take long to defeat it using the scrolls. When you have done enough damage, it will change colour and start flying around. This is a large area map with lots of sewer tunnels to navigate to get to the right one. First things first is to enter the building, and there is a full pizza up in the top left. Refill all your turtles' health by entering and re-entering. Use Donatello the majority of these levels as his staff is so handy. This section is a combination of using the shurikens and jumping to get past the enemies and reach the ladder going up. Some levels it pays off to quickly reach an exit instead of defeating all the enemies. If you haven't got any rooftop rope items like you see in the top right corner, you will need to collect these to progress into the next section. You automatically use the ropes if you got any in your inventory. You need 3 to get past this section. Head into the sewer on the top left corner for the next level. In this level you will encounter a new obstacle, a 4-way laser gun system. It flashes before it fires, and it can fire in any of the 4 directions. It pays for you to defeat them when you come across them. Beware of planes that can drop bombs on you, and you have got a choice of paths to go for. We are picking the sewer entrance on the top left, defeat the enemies and jump across the conveyor belts that will slow you down or speed you up. Go into the sewer that's directly to the left, defeat the boomerang enemy before you jump down, and then jump over the first conveyor belt and then go under it so you safely defeat the other enemy. Head to the next sewer at the top. It's a very short section, and in the next area pick the sewer at the top left. Something I've neglected to mention, if you lose a turtle you have to rescue them in certain levels. I haven't lost a turtle yet, and so I have been unable to show you. Try to always switch turtles when they are in low health, and plenty of opportunities to farm pizza for health. Head up and then right to the next sewer. This sewer is packed with flying enemies and laser guns. There is a full pizza when you defeat a laser near the end. This isn't a good boosting area, but don't worry about the turtle you're playing as. If you're on good health, you can afford to get hit a few times, grab the pizza, and then exit the level. There is a boosting area coming up. Head to the sewer directly below. Again, there is a full pizza halfway through this level, so don't worry about getting damaged too much until you get the pizza. Head to the sewer that's on the right of the cross, and this is going to be a boosting area for pizza. What you have to do is quickly get to the turtle icon pickup at the bottom left, which gives you invincibility for a short while, and then quickly get to the top by way of reaching the starting ladder, and right to get to the pizza and make your way back and repeat if needed. Once you are satisfied with your health, enter the sewer that's in the top right. This is the final of the area with a tricky section towards the end and then a boss battle. Don't jump at all on these belts or you will get injured by the spikes. When you drop down, walls will close in and insta-kill you, and you got to guide yourself quickly through the small holes. I found going to the left side is quicker on the first section, and then the right hand on the second section. Through this door is the boss, a giant version of the Mauser robot. Donatello is the best for this boss. Stand under his face and move left to right to avoid his laser attack from his eyes. As soon as he's finished with that attack, his mouth will open to throw normal Mausers at you, and the flashing orb is its weak spot. As Donatello stand directly under and attacking upwards will kill the Mausers and damage the giant Mauser. You have to find the Technodrome in this area. There's 3 locations it could possibly be, and it's always in a random place when you start the area, so you have to search all 3 locations. There is a building where you can restore health and rescue any turtles lost, and there's another building in the top left where you can boost scrolls if you need any. I would recommend getting them as it will make this boss and the final boss Shredder really easy. The other 3 locations are the possible locations. In the overworld, you will have searchlights guarding the base, and if you get caught, foot soldiers will come after you. Going into the building to boost Donatello's health. In the building will be some new enemies, flying birds, and one will drop a rock, and before the pizza is a mutant creature that can climb the same climbable walls the turtles can climb. The nearest and quickest sewer to check is just to the southeast of this building, and if you are lucky you will find the right exit. If not, it will be a dead end, and you have to work your way back, and these are full of tough new enemies. You will face these tough insect-like enemies. They take numerous hits, even from Donatello's staff weapon. They have projectiles and spin very fast around the room. I find it easier jumping and avoiding combat. You have jellyfish creatures that when in near proximity will explode and send 4 bubbles in different directions that can hurt you. You can defeat the bubbles with your weapon. This area is chock-a-block full of enemies. You have new porcupine type of enemies who throw spikes at you, and they are tough like the insect creatures. You have to hit the bricks on the right to get past. When you go through this door, it will either be a dead end or you will face the Technodrome as a boss. For me, it was a dead end, so now I have to exit and I will be heading to the building again to top up my health. The second one I tried, which was the right one for me, is the sewer at the bottom left. This is the longest and hardest one out of the 3, and the third possibility in the top right is the easiest of the levels, with similar enemies as all 3 possibilities. Another thing, if you find any boomerangs, you want to have one of your turtles to have that weapon, as I found towards the end of the game it was really handy. Wait until the 2 insects pass the ladder on the left and jump to the right and hit the bricks to progress. Here you will see some new enemies, spider-like creatures that shoot webs. They are fairly weak, so should pose no problem. Now this was the right door for me, so when you do get the right door, you will face the Technodrome as a boss. And as soon as you go through the door, head left and use your scrolls to quickly defeat the big gun section of the drome. It will continuously throw up foot soldiers, try to destroy them quickly, and after the big gun, you got to take its rear gun, the square panel in front of the eye, and the eye itself. You have to wait until the eye is open before you damage it, and once everything is destroyed, the Technodrome is defeated. As soon as the last area begins, there will be a foot soldier on the left, which you got to immediately defeat. The last level is one big giant level set inside the Technodrome. You will face foot soldiers on jetpacks, and most of the times it's best to avoid them. They fire downwards with lasers and usually disappear when you head off screen. There will be large circle turrets that in some cases is best destroyed, especially if they are in between platforms you have to jump, as they will knock you off. These spinning blade drones usually come in pairs and they're quite weak, only takes one hit to destroy them, but in more open areas it's best just to jump over them. You can see a full pizza below, which for me was worth getting to get Donatello topped up, so you go left, down and right to reach the pizza. Duck twice when going left after the first enemy. We are going to get another full pizza soon, so don't worry about health too much. Go all the way left and up the ladder and then right and you'll see a new enemy, robotic kangaroos, that take quite a few hits to defeat, and again easier when you can to jump over them if you can. But they do get stuck sometimes, and use this opportunity to defeat them. Jump over the second one and go up and around to the door to the next section. There will be a boomerang enemy on the left as soon as you go through the door. In this section, duck to avoid the flying enemy, go down the gap and jump over the robot, and fall down the gap to the right, and then quickly jump on the platform to avoid the robot. Defeat the turret gun and head left and down the ladder for a full pizza. Go back up and drop down the next gap, head left and down the gap and duck to avoid the flying enemies, and then just head right and don't stop to avoid the enemies and down the next gap. I changed to Raphael just for him to soak up any damage. Destroy this turret so you can get the invincibility and quickly drop down the gap and head left and through the door. Welcome to the Corridor of Hell. Non-stop enemies throughout, and then the final boss straight after, if you survive. My tactics was to use the turtles with the boomerang weapon and for them to soak up the damage, while madly throwing the boomerangs. You need to keep the turtle with the scrolls for the final boss, so you can go through 3 turtles' health. The final boss is easy. The enemies alternate between a pair of flying robots and jetpack foot soldiers, so you got to hit the flying ones, and then when you see the jets, duck so they fly over you and fire. Then head to the right, then the corridor gets narrow so it becomes harder to avoid the jetpacks, and you've got to mash that boomerang while pushing forward. Eventually you will face one jetpack enemy when the corridor is really small, and when they appear you stop and they fly off the screen. You have to face and defeat a jetpack foot soldier, and through the final door is the final boss. Change to the turtle with the scroll weapon, head straight to the left hand side, and Shredder will teleport in at the top of the platform. As soon as he appears, use your scroll weapon to knock him off the ledge, then spam the scroll weapon, and make sure you jump and avoid his fire, as this is an insta-kill move and will turn you back into an original turtle. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, where there are more complete retro walkthroughs of classic games. The channel also has achievement and trophy guides, secrets and tips from the latest releases. Thanks for watching.